Be me, Elias, 29, adjunct professor of experimental media and performance. Teaching at a hyper-prestigious arts conservatory in the Pacific Northwest. Tuition is $60,000 a year. Students are a mix of trust fund kids trying to look poor and actual poor kids trying to look invisible. My philosophy is radical discomfort. Wrote my thesis on the weaponization of intimacy in digital spaces. Deeply believe that art without trauma is just decoration. If you aren't bleeding on the stage, you're wasting my time. If you aren't dissecting your own psyche for the audience, you're a coward. That's the curriculum. Deconstruct the ego. Interrogate the shame. I'm not here to teach them how to draw. I'm here to break them down so they can build something real. Fall semester starts. Studio A, high ceilings, smell of linseed oil and unwashed denim. 18 students. Most of them are the usual archetypes. Chloe, dyed hair, parents own a winery, makes art about anti-capitalism. Jack's obsessed with phallic imagery, thinks he's the new Mapplethorpe. Lena, performance artist, screams into buckets. And then there's Arthur, 20 years old, scholarship student from rural Ohio. Scholarship is for technical excellence. He sits in the back, wears generic t-shirts, faded jeans, clean-shaven, quiet. His work is technically perfect. Hyper-realistic charcoal drawings of architectural structures, bridges, scaffolding, empty rooms with perfect perspective. Clean lines, no smudge marks, no chaos. It's boring. It's safe. It offends me. Week 3 critique. Arthur puts up a drawing of a brutalist library interior. It's flawless. The shading is impeccable. The class looks at it. Chloe says the perspective is really good. Jax nods. Yeah, nice lines. I step forward. Silence falls. They know I'm the predator in this ecosystem. It's dead, I say. Arthur blinks. Excuse me. It's dead, Arthur. It's a machine drawing. Where are you in this? He shifts his weight. I like structure. I like the stillness. Stillness is a lie. Chaos is the reality. You're hiding. I walk closer to the drawing, invading his space. You're hiding behind technique. You're using precision as a shield. What are you afraid of letting us see? He looks down. I just want to capture the space. The space is empty, like this work. D- for impact. A for being a human photocopier. I see his jaw tighten. Good. Friction generates heat. Heat generates art. Over the next month, I target him. Every assignment I push for mess. Draw with your non-dominant hand. Use fluids other than paint. Destroy your canvas and reassemble it. Everyone else dives in. Chloe vomits glitter onto a canvas. I give her an A-. Arthur turns in a shattered mirror, glued back together perfectly. It's still too controlled, too careful. I'm getting frustrated. I need to crack him. It becomes my project. The unlocking of Arthur. I convince myself this is for his own good. He has potential, but he's blocked. I need to remove the block. Midterm reviews are coming up. I ask Arthur to stay after class. The room empties out, just the hum of the ventilation. He looks tired. Smudges of charcoal on his hands, but none on his clothes. Always keeps himself clean. Arthur, we need to talk about your trajectory. He sighs. I know, you think my work is rigid. I think your work is a fortress, and you're starving inside it. I sit on the edge of the desk, trying to be casual. The cool professor. Look, I see the talent, but art isn't about control, it's about surrender. He doesn't say anything. Why is control so important to you, Arthur? What happens if things get messy? He looks away, staring at the floor. I prefer order. That's a non-answer. Talk to me. This is a safe space. Nothing leaves this studio. I really just want to pass the class, Professor. Call me Elias. And you won't pass if you don't evolve. I can't grade you on technical skill alone. This is a conceptual program. Silence stretches for a long time. I wait. I'm good at waiting. Finally, he looks up. His eyes are wet. You don't understand. Help me understand. He takes a breath, shaky. My mother, she was sick. I lean in. Sick how? Hoarding, severe, level 5. He picks at a loose thread on his jeans. I grew up in a house where you couldn't see the floor, stacks of newspapers, rotting food, dead cats buried under clothes, narrow pathways to get from room to room. I try to keep my face neutral, but inside I'm electric. This is it. This is the trauma. The smell, he whispers. It never leaves you. The chaos. The unpredictability. An avalanche of trash could kill you in your sleep. He looks me in the eye. Intense. That's why I draw empty rooms, Elias. That's why I need the lines to be straight. Because if I don't control the space, the chaos comes back. I need it to be clean. He wipes his eyes quickly. Ashamed. I've never told anyone here that. They wouldn't get it. I put a hand on his shoulder. Arthur, thank you. That is incredibly powerful. He shrinks away slightly. It's not powerful. It's gross. Please don't tell anyone. Of course not. But Arthur, listen to me. That fear, that need for control, that is the art. He shakes his head violently. No, I draw to escape that. You're running from your shadow. You need to turn around and face it. Imagine if you brought that tension into the work, the fight between the horde and the empty room. I can't go back there. You don't have to go back physically, but emotionally, that's where the masterpiece is. He leaves looking shaken. I feel triumphant. I found the key. Friday night, faculty mixer at the Gallerist. Overpriced wine, cheese cubes, pretension thick enough to cut with a palette knife. I'm talking to Dean Reynolds and Clara, the head of sculpture. Clara is complaining about her students being derivative. They have nothing to say, she sighs, just regurgitating Instagram aesthetics. I know the feeling, I say, swirling my Pinot Noir. But I think I had a breakthrough with one of mine. Reynolds raises an eyebrow. Oh, the scholarship boy, Arthur? The very same. Finally cracked the shell. How'd you manage that? Clara asks. He's like a stone. I lower my voice. Confidential tone. Turns out there's a reason for the rigidity. Severe childhood trauma. Hoarding situation. Reynolds nods slowly. The psychology of space. Exactly, I say. He grew up in filth. That's why he fetishizes the void. It's a classic overcorrection. Clara looks interested. That's actually fascinating. Is he going to use it? I'm guiding him there. It's heavy stuff, but if he can channel it, it could be career-defining. It's the kind of raw authenticity the department needs. Reynolds pats my back. Good work, Elias. Push him. We need a standout piece for the spring showcase. I feel validated. I am a molder of minds. Next week. I changed the final project prompt. Originally, it was the future of the body. I change it to domestic archaeology, excavating the private. The class groans. Arthur goes pale. I catch his eye. I nod encouragingly. Trust me, the nod says. During the studio hours, I circle Arthur. He's sketching a clean, white kitchen. Arthur, I say softly, don't. I can't do the other thing, Elias. You can. You must. The white kitchen is a lie. Draw what's underneath. I don't want to look at it. Art is not about what you want. It's about what is true. Stop censoring yourself. I crouch down next to him. Think about the texture of the pile, the weight of it, the claustrophobia. Put that on the paper. He grips the charcoal so hard it snaps. He starts shading, dark, frantic lines. Not a room, but a wall of indistinct shapes. It looks messy, urgent. Yes, I whisper, keep going. For 3 weeks, I ride him. I make him scrap the clean drawings. I force him to watch documentaries on hoarding for reference. He looks sick, pale, dark circles under his eyes. He stops shaving. His clothes look rumpled. He's losing that perfect, clean control. I think he's entering the process. The final critique arrives. The gallery is set up, wine for the visitors. All the students display their work. Chloe has made a sculpture out of her old credit cards. Derivative. Jax has photos of his own feet. Boring. Then we get to Arthur. He's standing by his section. He looks like he's vibrating. He has 3 large canvases. They are terrifying. Swirling vortexes of trash, rot, and vaguely human shapes drowning in debris. But painted with that hyper-realistic technique. You can almost smell the mold. It's disturbing. It's brilliant. The class gathers around. Silence. "Talk to us, Arthur," I say, beaming. He swallows hard, voice barely a whisper. This is a study of accumulation." "Go deeper," I urge. "Tell them the source." He looks at me, panic in his eyes. He shakes his head slightly. "It's just a concept. About consumerism." He's retreating. He's intellectualizing. I can't let him dilute the power of the work. I step in. Arthur is being modest. I announce to the room. This isn't just a critique of consumerism. This is lived experience. Arthur has bravely chosen to confront his own history growing up in a hoarding environment. Arthur freezes. The room shifts. The students look at him differently. Not with awe, but with a mix of pity and morbid curiosity. "Oh my God," Chloe says, hand over her mouth. "That's so brave." "It explains so much," Jax mutters. "Wait," Lena says, tilting her head. "So this is like your house?" Arthur looks like he wants to die. "It was," he croaks. "It's fascinating," I continue, gesturing to the canvas. "See how he uses the charcoal to create the sensation of suffocation? He's reclaiming the trauma." The student from the back, Sophie, rich girl, raises her hand. "But isn't this kind of trauma porn? Like, are we consuming his suffering right now?" "It's vulnerability," I counter. "It feels like exploitation," Sophie says. "Like, did he want to share this, or is it just for the grade?" I feel a prickle of irritation. Arthur chose to paint this. Everyone looks at Arthur. "Did you?" Sophie asks. Arthur looks at me, then at the floor, then at the painting of the trash that ruined his childhood. He stops. "I have to go." He walks out. "Arthur," I call. He doesn't stop. "He's just overwhelmed," I tell the class. "It's an emotional breakthrough. Give him space." I give him an A. I assume he'll be back on Monday, grateful for the push. Monday comes. No Arthur. Wednesday. No Arthur. I email him. No response. I check the studio. His easel is empty. The paintings are gone. I ask the registrar. Arthur dropped the class. Dropped? It's the end of the semester. He withdrew from the program entirely, forfeit his scholarship. I feel a cold pit in my stomach. But I rationalize it. He wasn't ready. He couldn't handle the truth of his own art. I tried to save him. George 2 weeks later. I'm at a coffee shop downtown, grading papers. I look out the window. There's a construction crew working on the sidewalk. Jackhammers, dust. High-vis vests. I see a guy hauling bags of concrete. It's Arthur. He looks different. He's wearing work boots, dirty jeans, a hard hat. He looks exhausted, but solid. I rush out. "Arthur?" He stops, wipes sweat from his forehead. He sees me. His face doesn't show anger. It shows absolutely nothing. The same dead look I criticized in his drawings. "Professor." "Elias, I correct automatically. Arthur, what are you doing? You quit the program." "Yeah." "Why?" "Your final critique was, it was the best work in the class." He looks at the bag of concrete in his hands. "It wasn't work. It was my nightmare." "But you faced it." "I didn't face it. You dragged it out of me and put it on a wall for people to stare at. I was helping you find your voice." He laughs, a dry, humorless sound. "You didn't want my voice. You wanted my damage. You wanted a story to tell at your faculty parties." I stiffen. "That's not fair." "I heard you," he says. "What?" "The mixer, the gallerist. I was working catering that night, passing hors d'oeuvre." Oh, God. "I heard you telling Dean Reynolds about the filth, about how fascinating my broken brain was." He steps closer. "I spent 18 years trying to get the smell of rot off my skin. I came to the conservatory to learn how to build things that were clean, things that made sense." "That's repression, Arthur." "That's survival," he yells. The other construction guys look over. He lowers his voice. You took the one place I felt safe, my art, and you filled it with garbage. And then you told everyone my secret, so you could look like a genius teacher. I thought. You didn't think. You just wanted to see what would happen if you poked the animal. He hoists the concrete bag onto his shoulder. I'm not an artist anymore. I'm doing this. Concrete is honest. It dries hard. It covers things up. That's what I want. Arthur, you're wasting your talent. And you're a vampire, he says flatly. He turns and walks back to the mixer truck. I stand there on the sidewalk. My latte is getting cold on the table inside. I go back in. I sit down. I open my laptop. I have a new class starting next semester. Radical Empathy in Performance. I start typing the syllabus. I stare at the blinking cursor. Takwa Hail. Be me. Nover Dun Takwo. The visionary. The disruptor. I take a sip of coffee. It tastes burnt. I think about Arthur's concrete. How it covers everything up. How it makes things smooth and gray and silent. I realize I'm jealous. I delete the syllabus document. I sit in the coffee shop for 2 hours. I look at the students around me. They all look like raw meat waiting to be ground up. And I'm the grinder. I pack up my bag. Walk back to campus. I see Dean Reynolds in the hallway. Elias, shame about Arthur, such a waste. Yeah, I say. But I heard you have a new girl, Lena, the screamer. Very promising. Yeah, I say, very promising. Reynolds claps my shoulder. Keep pushing them, Elias. Break them down. Right, I say. Break them down. I walk into my office. Close the door. I look at my own art on the walls. Conceptual pieces about digital surveillance. Cold, intellectual, safe. I realize I've never bled in my life. I just hold the knife. I take the art down. One by one. Stack it against the wall. Sit at my empty desk. Stare at the white wall. It's clean. It's quiet. I finally understand the appeal. But it's too late for Arthur. And probably too late for me. I open my email. Resignation. I type it out. Delete it. I have rent to pay. I have a reputation. I close the laptop. I'll teach the class. But maybe I'll let them draw the flower vase. Maybe I'll let them be boring. But who am I kidding? The system eats boring for breakfast. I'm just a cog in the machine. A cog with a PhD in pretension. I put my head on the desk, and I listen to the silence. It's deafening.